Our next man up, wide receiver, Houston Texans, second-round rookie, Jayden Higgins. We're going to take Higgins, and we're going to compare him against guys you might also pick up from the waiver wire, but also go level up and a level up so you get a better idea of who to drop to bring him on board. Now, Yash, Higgins is one of your guys, a guy you picked up in the Rhode Island Scumbag League. He's since been dropped because he's very, very uneven. He really needs red zone targets to be active, but he was a useful piece in that Davis Mills comeback, which – I don't know if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, how you can ever get back to playing regular football once you've given up a 19-point fourth quarter lead to Davis, by God, Mills. However, Higgins out there, 7 targets, 5 catches, only 42 yards, but he did get in the end zone. That's his second double-digit performance in 3 weeks. So, Yash, let's scrape the waiver wire. Are you picking up Jayden Higgins, or are you going for another guy who's been surprisingly active in 2 of the last 3 weeks? Our guy from the New England Patriots, Mack Hollins.
This is a tough decision because, like you said, Mack has looked great the last 2 out of 3 weeks. The caveat is it's still the New England passing attack, and they kind of just – they don't really have a pattern as to who they like to go to week. It's kind of just it's like the old school with Brady. It's like whoever the open man is the best man. And that's kind of how they've been operating. So I know Higgins has started to come on a little bit more. And the only hesitancy I have is it was David Mills. Typically the backups for some one way or another, they tend to perform well with the younger guys or the guys that tend to be more bench stashes when they get their chance because they're comfortable with those guys. Those are the guys who they practice with earlier on in the season. So I do have to take that into account, but I think I'm still going to lean Higgins in this one just because of the uncertainty of the Patriots offense.
Yeah, Hollins has been great this year. He's a guy who's brought in for his downfield blocking. He's brought in to be an adult in the room with that offense, and he's brought in for those vibes, right? This is a guy that shows up dressed like Fred Flintstone. It's 6 degrees out, and he's barefoot. He's one of those good weirdos you want in the locker room. But lately, he's been getting open. He's been creating space, and he's been a reliable target for Drake May. I think the issue for me is that he's also got that with Kayshon Boutte, who is another guy who's going to get those targets in the intermediate and deep range, create some space, get the ball, and then pretty much fall over. That's how it goes. I really like what Hollins brings to the table for this Patriots team, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense and a lot fewer in Houston where, yes, you have Nico Collins, but after that, who's going to be getting the ball in the passing game? So far, it's been Dalton Schultz. We'll talk more about him later. But otherwise, you don't really have a lot of guys inside the circle to trust there. On the other hand, you also have a much shakier quarterback situation. Stroud had been uneven earlier in the season, came on, head injury. Davis Mills is in the game now. It's a lot of uncertainty on both sides. I think ultimately, rather than the 32-year-old Hollins, who maybe has a defined ceiling, you wait and see what Higgins can do. You bring him on board, you stash him, you hang on to him.
Right.
Next man up, a guy you probably have to drop at this point because he's 32% owned. Tampa Bay Buccaneers wideout with 2 touchdown catches against the Patriots in Week 10. Tez Johnson. Yash, who you want in this case, Jayden or Tez?
I'll take Tez here. He's been proving week after week that he is not just going to be a flash in the pan. He looked good again, like we said yesterday, against the Patriots. And it doesn't really seem like he's slowing down too much. He seems to be one of Baker's guys. We know that Mike Evans isn't going to be returning anytime soon. We know that Godwin is still a couple weeks away. So the rapport keeps building with Tez, and I like what I see from him. So I'm going to go with him just because he's had more opportunities and he's capitalized on them week after week.
He's been getting some run, but I was a little bit concerned with the target share he got in New England. He wasn't the guy going up against Christian Gonzalez, most of those reps that fell to Emeka Egbuka. And he still only got 5 targets on 39 routes, so he wasn't quite in that Baker Mayfield circle of trust. That said, Baker Mayfield is a football lunatic, and if he knows a guy can help him out, he's going to target him over and over again. That's how Tez got those 2 touchdown catches. He's going to continue getting a ton of playing time because the Bucs skill positions are cursed right now. You don't have Bucky Irving. You don't have Chris Godwin. You don't have Mike Evans. So the run will be there. It's a more trustworthy quarterback situation. I think I'm going to go Tez Johnson as well. Finally, another guy I'm kind of excited to talk about because we don't really know what the Jacksonville Jaguars are. We don't really know what fellow Rhode Island scumbag Liam Cohen is going to do with that offense, how he's going to respond to getting thrown off the field in Energy Stadium. Because I still can't get my mind around that one, Yash. I don't understand how you let Davis Mills. Anyway, Parker Washington right now, 41% owned, a popular pickup due to injuries to Travis Hunter and Brian Thompson Jr. Do you see his hot streak continuing, and do you want him over Jayden Higgins of the Houston Texans?
I do. I really do. And the big reason I'm thinking of this is what happened last year. I know it wasn't Trevor Lawrence, it was Mac Jones, but after the bye, second half of the year, guy who capitalized on his playing time, Brian Thomas Jr., was a rookie back then. So we got another younger, inexperienced guy coming on, and he seems to be playing pretty well. He's getting his opportunities. And I don't think those opportunities are going to go away anytime soon. Jacoby Myers, obviously, you saw last week, yesterday, almost had a touchdown. Penalty goes through. Who do they go to next play? Parker Washington. So it seems like they have plans for him. So unlike Higgins, who is getting more inconsistent run, it seems like Washington's found a more consistent role. So that's why I would stick with Washington.
The former 6th-round pick already matched his career high in routes run. We're barely halfway through the season. Obviously, a lot of that injury contingent, but this is a guy who is making his case to stay on the field because he is just so explosive. He had that return touchdown yesterday. He's a guy who gets out there and makes things happen. You have an offensive-minded head coach in Cohen. He's not going to keep him off the field. He knows what he can do for him. And also, Hunter might be back at some point. We don't know. I mean, it wasn't a torn ACL, but a non-contact knee injury. You're going to bring him back slowly. And Brian Thomas, even when he's healthy, has been off this year. It's been a very trying experience for a guy that's all of a sudden dropping passes, seems to be inside his own head. Yeah. So you want to bring him back, maybe slowly build him up, and you want to keep Parker Washington into that offense. I think there's just too much upside there to pass up. So, yes, even though Higgins is maybe wide receiver 2 in Houston, I think you want the wide receiver 3-4 type in Jacksonville in a Parker Washington just because he's got a little bit more of a creative offense. He maybe has a more stable passing situation, even though Trevor Lawrence kind of stinks this year. He's definitely in the lineup, which is an improvement over Stroud and Mills battling it out right now due to injury. I think I want Parker Washington as well.
Yep.